Nice. See, there's a little bit more cadence to it, you know? We're back on another episode of Salient Points. This one's Salient Points number 89 for November 15th, 2022. I'm Carlos Macias, the host of this here fine program. And what's my nickname this week, Dalan?
Master of Dirigibles.
Dirigibles. Okay. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. All right, Carlos, Master. I hope it's not. I hope it's child friendly, Dalan.
It's child friendly.
Okay.
It was the World War I blimps.
Oh, interesting.
True story. Facts.
Okay, true story. Oh, see, Dale is like, he was right there. Dale was right there, dude. He understood. Anyways, Carlos Macias, the master of whatever Dalan said. We got
dirigibles. You don't know what a dirigible is. Just say blimps, Carlos. You're master of blimps.
That's what I was gonna say. I think called blimps. So it's all confusing.
Hey,
Dalan
they're
Kirkwood.
very different type of blimps, Carlos.
Dalan Kirkwood from up in the mountains. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Who's our sponsor this week?
I'm doing much better this week. Our sponsor is Teddy Grahams. I brought it back.
Honey flavor.
Honey flavor.
Are you sure you're classic? Are you sure you're not allergic to that flavor of honey, Dalan?
Oh, you mean unlike Coco Ichibanya, which I'm going to call out right now, I got a card on my refrigerator that says that all of our products are made with peanut oil or peanuts or something like that. And I was like, I think I'm just gonna die eating some Coco Ichibanya. I don't care.
If you guys don't know, it's like the Japanese. It's a Japanese curry house that we love. It's out there in Koreatown, but I think they have different locations right around the
they got
planet.
a couple. They got one like. San
but we
Diego.
love it, and Dalan has ate there multiple times. He has a peanut allergy, if you guys don't know, and apparently it's enough dosage. You need to bring out the radiation machine, you know, like the peanut radiation thing. Like it's just
the
enough.
Radiation machine for peanuts.
We got the king of Mid-Bay as well, Dale Blas. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, holla at you. Wait, yo, what's up?
Hey, man. Your background's not blurred out, so we can see the Dexter situation going on. That's okay. I like it. Dale, please get off the screen like that. Thank you for joining us, Dale. Sorry about the Warriors. I
am wearing my Warriors.
Oh, you got
my long sleeve for the Warriors.
Oh, man, you had to drop a quick nugget in there.
I know. What the hell, man? We're hurting. We're hurting. I'm not going to lie.
The record. Hey, the Lakers are hurting too, though, so don't look at their records. Luis Mendez on the wheels of steel. Thank you for joining us as well, sir.
I'm back.
All right. Look.
When did you leave?
He's been around.
I'm back. I got the old mic up. I got a new job. I started today. I'm back. Dude.
Congratulations.
He's running at full steam. All right.
He's ready to go, man. We'll talk about that off air. We need all the details. He's kidding. He's kidding. He's kidding. All right, we'll get right to it. We do have some people speaking this week. Jet, has Jet been, man? And from what I understand, can we say you're? Oh, we haven't doxed him, right? So he's just Jet.
No, we haven't doxed him.
Okay, he's just Jet, a commentator on YouTube. Jet, if you want people to know who you are, we will tell them, but just let us know. But Jet did comment. He left a couple comments on the YouTube, as you can leave it on the YouTube as well. Like, subscribe, comment. If you comment, high likelihood you're going to be on the podcast. High likelihood. But Jet, he left 3 comments, as you guys can see. He said, Spider-Man 2, the game is hands down the best movie to video game adaptation. This is related to, we were talking about like GoldenEye is up there, right? It's kind of, it hasn't aged well.
I said Lord of the Rings.
Okay, Lord of the Rings of 2000 is pretty nice as well, but he's saying Spider-Man 2. Dalan, what do you have to say to this man in response?
I gotta say, you have not played enough video games in your life, good sir.
What do you mean?
I mean, obviously, GoldenEye, very much one of my favorite video game movies. I don't care what anybody says. And don't get me wrong, it's blocky as hell and did not live.
Dalan, hit him up or tell him thank you or thumbs up or what's going on here?
No. I'm gonna hit him up. Jet, play more video games. There's plenty out there. You've obviously not played the Disney's Aladdin or Lion King from Super Nintendo.
Lion King, Lion King's a little interesting.
Aladdin was really good.
Actually, I think, Carlos, didn't you play the Chronicles of Riddick game? I believe you
Chronicles of Riddick was nice, dude. That's up there, man. That's up there, Dan. It potentially is better than Pitch Black than the source material. I gotta say, man, that game was nice.
I think one of my mentors worked on that one. Actually,
now we name dropping out here. I
didn't say a name.
You didn't say a name. You said mentors, Carlos. Who are you?
What's your response to this man, Jet?
My response, my balloon. That's my response, dude.
Okay. All right.
That was half of that game. It was still fun, though.
That was so frustrating.
Dale, what do you think, man?
Now, okay, is he talking about the Spider-Man 2, like the PlayStation 2 game?
That's
Is
what
that
I'm
what he's
assuming,
talking
Yes,
about?
right?
that's what he's
I'm
talking
assuming.
about.
Oh,
Because it could
then,
be the PS3 one he's talking about.
yeah, because I
Nice.
remember one of those.
Yeah.
No,
But
he's talking about Spider-Man 2, the movie,
like the Amazing
the video game
Spider-Man
one.
2. Okay, so if it's that one, then yeah, I agree with Dalan. You got to play more video games. 'Cause there's a
Oh, yeah,
lot,
that
lot
is
better
true.
adaptation
That
games
is
out
true.
there.
They
You
did
gotta
get
play
the
more video
swinging
games,
right.
dude.
They did get the
Like
swinging right.
no hate
yeah.
on that one. I
Yeah.
hear it's fine, but like
Hey, the
yeah, there's a
swinging
lot
was
better
great.
versions of that.
Doing one thing at a time, like each individual like little side quest that you could do, that was great. But when they started getting repetitive over and over again, that game is
Like,
you
was-
either fast track it or you're gonna get bored.
Yeah, was that one made by Treyarch? Because I
Yeah,
remember
Treyarch.
like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Treyarch, that was
Yeah.
Treyarch, right?
Mhm.
And then like after that, like Activision like just started handing out the license for the Spider-Man video games to
Just,
whoever Open
willy-nilly,
Studio
huh?
was available.
Whoever
I think.
wants it. We're cool. We're,
Yeah.
we're raking
And
it
it
in
was
with Tony Hawk.
mm,
Go ahead and make
yeah.
whatever
Hey,
you want.
I gotta say, I'll just throw it out on Spider-Man games. I'm not even gonna talk about the 2016 or the Miles Morales one, but there was the one that came out before that. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it was like Dimensional Break or something like that. There were 4 different Spider-Mans
Oh,
in
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That one was
Mhm.
excellent.
Oh,
Well, there you go. But he definitely has to play more video games, from what I'm understanding around these parts.
Oh yeah.
Next thing out here. I don't know why he hit you up this hard, Dale, but he did. He said, "Clout, Dale." Joseph Ferris has the clout. I believe that's the phrase you're looking for. I mean, come on, Jet.
Yeah,
settle down.
he
Settle
found
down.
the word. I guess that we were looking
Yeah.
for. I don't even remember what I said.
You said
But
something.
thank you,
interesting.
Jet. Thank you
Someone-
very much for addressing that.
I like that you added like 10 exclamation points to that, Carlos.
Oh yeah, he definitely, like how he wrote it out was like period, very soft, little soft periods along the way. But whatever, Jet, don't come around after 7 months of not commenting and hit up Dale, please. I'll defend your honor a little bit, Dale. All right, don't
Cool,
be
thank
coming
you.
around like that, Jet. All right.
No,
Next thing-
I appreciate Jet's input there.
Whatever, Jet, that's cool. The next thing he said, just to kind of get into the show now, he said, "Hey, that 8.88 pH water hits different. I don't even like water, but I'll drink that. I'm drinking something. Mine says 9.5. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I got
Is that good?
I got that 9.5 plus. I don't know. He brought this shit up. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't really understand the difference. I guess
It
it's
tastes
purity.
like water.
I don't-
Just
I thought
definitely
the
stay away
scale
from
goes
Arrowhead.
from like 0 to 7 for pH. Isn't that
Oh, that's
the
true.
whole scale? Why is
mine-
it on 9?
Why is mine so extreme, dude?
Someone's lying to you.
Mine's is straight. Stater Brothers, you're lying to me. But yeah, I mean, whatever, man. As long as it's not Arrowhead. Arrowhead, if you sponsor us, we love Arrowhead. But for now, fuck Arrowhead, dude. That water tastes terrible. All right.
Naps.
Dalan, what's your thought here on this water situation before we get into these headlines?
Just for the people that didn't watch it, I had a bottle of water last week that was 8.8 pH or whatever the hell it was, and that was actually some refreshing ass water. I could say that it was very refreshing. But then I turned around and I drank some water out of my water cooler. I was like, this is just as good.
All right, there you go. Hey, don't let them lie to you. Yeah, apparently this is like some superpower, 9.5 plus. But yet I'm over here dying and coughing up a storm.
Oh, sorry. pH goes up to 14. 7 is the middle.
Oh, see, there you go.
Oh, you had to look it up.
Okay,
The
okay,
balance.
Dale, there we
I
go.
just need to make sure. I don't want you, poisoning yourself or whatever.
Like the radiation. We need to bring up the peanut allergy radiation meter and figure out if that's happening. Hey, we're gonna get right into the headlines. Of course, one of the bigger things from yesterday, Monday morning, Keighley's Awards or the Game Awards. He kind of threw out a lot of the nominations. His show's gonna be up live December 8th. Ragnarok is coming away with like 10 nominations. Elden Ring, and Horizon Forbidden West. What's the new one called?
Yes, Forbidden
West got 7.
Forbidden
So
West.
Elden Ring and Horizon got 7 nominations. Those are nominated for Game of the Year, along with A Plague Tale Requiem, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, and there was an interesting one on there. I know you pointed it out on your Twitter, Dale, that Nibelian, he got kind of a content creator nomination, which is kind of funny because someone online, which is perfectly apt, he was like, oh, he got one for being a copy and paster, the best copy and paster, because he really was just kind of generating, putting news together. Not to downplay what he did, because I followed him, because I was like, yeah, I want someone to curate it for me, right, and give me a list. But content creator, he did try to get a Patreon going, and it kind of like, I feel like people knew, like, wait, this man just copy and paste, it's kind of like, what are we paying for? But Nibelian is kind of cool. that they still gave him a content creator nomination. And of course, as per usual, people are like, what are these nominations? And Jeff Keighley had to say, quote, "It bears repeating. I do not select the nominees. We have a jury of over 100 global media outlets that make those selections." Because I know he was getting hit up. I don't know if it was a couple years ago because of Joseph Ferris and all that, and like their friends. Or no, the Kojima thing, Death Stranding. I don't know if Death Stranding won like a Game of the Year thing or something, right? So I think they were like, Jeff Keighley, you picking these out. But he has some, I think he has like the IGNs, Kotakus, and like kind of, Washington Post and all these like reputable places. Probably a Bloomberg. I would assume a Bloomberg gets a nomination in there. But Dale, what do you think, man? What do you think? Was there any other nominations that you thought were interesting, or what you think about what got nominated?
I do like they have like a family category too that they included into the Game Awards, which is fair because like one of the biggest standouts for the nominations for the Game of the Year was Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and because it's on the Switch platform, not a lot of people were able like they don't take it as seriously for a Game of the Year kind of nod. So I'm glad that it's there. But there's also a lot of high quality like games that are in the family category. Like the Star Wars Lego saga
Which
that
I
was
heard
on
is
there.
pretty good. The last one,
Yeah,
the last one that
yeah,
came
the
out.
Mario and Rabbids was on there too, which is fair. Like those games should deserve some sort of recognition, even though they're not like the mainstream, like big AAA blockbuster type of games that are normally in the Game of the Year kind of category. So I was really surprised that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was in there, which I'm not a big fan of the series, and I've never really played any
It
of
will
them.
also probably take you like 500 hours, man, to get.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's why I'm like I never dip my toes into any of those things. So like, but a lot of my mutuals on Twitter are super happy and proud about that. So I'm like happy for them. I'm glad that A Plague Tale Requiem was on there. Because I'm playing it through right now, and I'm like, damn, this is
I gotta
solid
get
game.
to that, man.
Solid game
For
of the
when
year.
we do our Game of the Years, or how we kind of do our weighted Game of the Year
Consider
situation.
it, please. Consider
I have to get through that, and I'm playing a bunch of stuff, so we got like a month or so to go. But did you see the Jeff Keighley thing where I don't know. I thought that was maybe a low blow. I just thought it was interesting that he tweeted out. Somebody was like, Xenoblade Chronicles is never considered for any of these. And he was like, life comes at you fast. I was like, Jeff Keighley, come on, man. What are you doing over here?
Jeff can say whatever he wants because he's built over this whole thing
True.
for the Video Game Awards and his reputation for over like a decade.
And I like when they get a little spicy. I like when they get a little spicy online.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
like Kevin,
fair.
like for example, Kevin Durant. He's always like, I'm gonna talk to anyone. I'm gonna just talk crap out here. Okay, so to put it on Waxdale, what wins Game of the Year? Even I understand you haven't maybe played through everything or whatever, but what wins it?
Oh my god.
What wins
I know.
it?
This is literally the God of War Ragnarok collector's edition right here in this box.
I hope
right
you got
now.
the disc with it. I hope it's not missing a disc.
I think it's gonna be that one though, to be honest,
Okay.
because like Elden Ring is pretty huge and it broke a lot of sales figures from Software and for Bandai Namco and everything like that. But as far as like mainstream appeal goes, which is what the Game Awards is really kind of meant for, I think it will go towards God of War. And I hate to say, like back in 2018, I think it was Sekiro that won Game of the Year. And
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
so,
like
yeah.
and I think that was only because like it was kind of like the Leonardo DiCaprio kind of Oscar moment where it's like, man, we should have been awarding these guys like the highest praise or whatever, but he didn't have the best movie like that particular year or that particular.
We have to give him something
round.
at some point.
So we got to give him something.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. So I don't think Elden Ring will win.
Yeah.
Although I hear I've only played through.
It should be interesting.
Maybe a quarter of it.
It should be interesting. But that's the thing.
yeah.
I think he pointed out that he actually has like a reputable, like respectful, like a lot of media outlets. It's not just fans voting. There is a fan voting component, I think, but it's like 25% of the vote, which I think that shouldn't even be there. But it's still a smaller percentage.
I think it works the same way that the Academy Awards works. I think it's like you have like 100 people that are put into that position. You don't even really know who these specific people are, but they have some sort of input into the gaming industry, and so they're able to do the process. So that's why Jeff is like totally separating himself from.
But I like how he has to say that.
I don't
right?
personally
like, hey,
handpick these things. Yeah,
I'm just putting this together. Dalan, who wins it, man? And then you can give an opinion on anything else, but who wins it this year? Put it on.
I mean, for a full Game of the Year, I haven't even played Ragnarok yet, but I know that's a highly touted game, obviously, and I do intend on playing it. I'm just waiting for my copy in the mail. Hot take. Sonic ain't gonna make it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take.
We're gonna talk about it in the news. That's a
That was
little
a low
teaser.
blow, bro.
But there's some interesting. There's a little nugget of information as far as Sonic Frontiers.
All right.
Little teaser.
I know I was hitting them up for a second, but
Yeah.
really, I think it's going to be between God of War and Elden Ring, just period. Simply because Elden Ring was just too huge. Even though I understand that it's not really for everybody, everybody tried it.
Yeah.
It was huge.
And nobody said anything bad about the game. It's just not for everybody.
So he gave us a wobbler, Dalan. Which one is it? Which one is it? Just
what
so it's on
between the
wax.
two?
Yeah, which one is it? Which one is it?
Honestly, simply because God of War is fresh in people's minds, it could be God of War, but I think Elden Ring is going to take it. I think it's been out for too long, and too many people have the opinion that that game is just good.
So Elden Ring.
The Elden Ring.
Okay.
But I will say this: I'm going to say Stray is going to take Indie Game of the Year.
Yeah, that's interesting that Stray's on there, right? Because it's interesting. And Requiem,
Nice way to put it.
and Requiem is interesting that it's on there as well, right? So they're getting some nods, some decent nods. Luis, what do you think, man? Who takes it? Put it on wax. Who takes the GOTY?
Well, of these games up there, I've only played Horizon and I'm playing God of War. I didn't even finish Horizon. But based off of what my expectations of God of War Ragnarok were and me now playing the game, it basically hit right exactly where I thought it was gonna be. It didn't underdeliver, didn't overdeliver. It was just exactly what I was expecting. So to me, that just because of the hype was so real around that game, and when I finally got my hand on the
Hot
sticks,
little
it's like,
hands.
oh, okay, here we go.
I mean,
I got my hand on the sticks here.
Oh,
Ooh,
a little special
slay.
You
edition.
got that limited edition.
And so, I mean,
controller.
you confirm that it's a Yakuza game, right? It's basically a Yakuza.
No.
Actually, I did want to comment
Go
on
ahead.
one more thing, and that was more so him talking about he goes to like 100 different media sources or something like that. But I'm pretty sure very recently we had that whole kerfuffle over some small magazine saying that this one little game that nobody actually cared about somehow came into the limelight, saying that this was going to be Game of the Year. I was like, where the hell did this little magazine?
I think you're talking about Far Cry 6. I was like, Game of the Year
was
edition
that
is like, wait, where did these magazines come? One was like a Car and Muscle magazine, and one was like good housekeeping in from the Ukraine or something. You know, it's a little soft topic, but from any other country,
it's media.
yeah. So it was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting that they were like, here we Game of the Year, 2 of these. I'll put myself on record. I feel I think Ragnarok. I think there could be a potential quote unquote upset, and Elden Ring takes it because that was pretty big. But I think just the fact that of how recent it is, right? I know one of you guys mentioned that how recent it is. It's on people's minds. I think Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok, but we'll find out. I'm up for.
You don't want to give me credit for nothing, huh?
I'll give it to you, Dan. I just didn't remember you said it, but yeah, Dalan said it. Dalan said it. But we'll move on as we've been talking about. God of War Ragnarok is out there. Luis will talk a little bit about it.
Let me take off my
No. We won't do that right now. Then we're not gonna do that right now. Luis
You
later.
let it be known very clearly that you want no spoilers. on
Dalan
this
put
one.
it no spoilers.
Big notes on here.
So just a couple little notes on kind of what's been going on with Boy of War 2. Oh, my bad, God of War Ragnarok. Some of the collector's editions are missing the game. I didn't get a quote on that. I just kind of got that little point. So I hope your game is in the box, Dale. It's behind you right there. I hope the game is not missing. But
Oh, yeah. So
did
do
you
I.
open it already?
He's got to look at it again. Like, is my box even there?
But yeah, apparently some people are missing the game, so I hope they kind of figure that out. Make sure to download that day 1 patch. The devs strongly encourage it. Apparently, it's like 160 fixes. And one little interesting note here, and I know at least just kind of go to you on this, but I like that the developers, like they were talking about 3 months ago, they were quote unquote freaking out that the game wasn't good. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of times games come together, right? Sort of towards the. I know not the last week or anything, but towards the stretch.
Somehow, yes. Somehow they do get put together.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's easy to see that with anything that you're working on, but especially I think projects like, let's say games in this example, where you're working on something for 3+ years, looking at it over and over every single day. It's hard to see the progress when you've jumped from like, vertical slice or white box levels to actually like a finished product, and it's easier to just focus on like, man, I wish I was able to fix that like one little corner in the map or something like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't doubt that they were freaking out, but I mean, obviously, everyone seems to be loving it. So,
But it's funny though, because as developers, you would think they would know that, right? But so it's interesting that came out, and this was, I believe, from IGN. They must have interviewed somebody that they were like, we are freaking out that we don't know if this is good or not. But sometimes you look at it, think for so long, right? Like you're working on it or whatever it is that you don't. There's like, I hope this is good. I hope this is funny. I hope this is whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So, but apparently it's good, right? And we'll hear a little bit more about it in the what you've been playing, right, Luis? And then Dalan. You don't have to. I don't think you gotta remove your headphones, but potentially.
No.
See. Anything else on that, Luis, or we can kind of move on to the quick.
No, yeah, let's move on to the quick takes.
We'll move on to the next thing on here. This is from this is a VGC tweet saying the director of Sonic Frontiers says he considers the game a quote global playtest end quote, saying feedback shows there are some areas where improvements still have to be made. He also said that the game still has a long way to go. This is a $60 game out on store shelves that we didn't understand, that we were going to understand apparently. And this man is talking about this game still has a long way to go. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the game had gone from like $60 to like $40 within a couple of days. I know Wario64 was like, it's $40 now. I don't know if that's one of those maybe before Black Friday things, or it definitely like bombed like that hard that they're like, let's get these out here, talk about it's not done, we're gonna update it or whatever. Dalan, what do you think, man? I know you were super hyped about Sonic. No,
I became super skeptical the moment he said. Actually, there was that point where they were saying, "Damn, I forgot the words that came out of my mouth at the time when I actually quoted that." Well, excuse my phrasing, but it's a Sonic issue, all right? It's nobody else's issue. It's a Sonic issue. Like, you don't have to say that the fans don't understand what you've made. We understand that going to 3D for Sonic has been difficult, so it's skeptical across the board. You released a game saying the fans aren't going to understand it, and then you released it talking about we're not even sure if it's ready yet, but we're going to call it a beta tester.
It's a play test. You paid $60 or $70, but yeah, it's a global play. They're out of control, man. And also the 3D version of Sonic, they've been dealing with this crap since like the Saturn, dude, when they did Sonic 3D Blast. And Sonic Adventure was decent, but it was still sort of rough around the.
But I
edges,
called it from the get-go that Sonic was gonna have its own Sonic issue.
It's rough, man. It's rough out there. Dale, what do you think about this, man? You gonna buy? Did you buy the global playtest or the?
I did. I did only because, and I was really considering this because so GameStop had the Steelbook version of it. And that one looked nice. So I was like, damn, that's a good looking steelbook. And for a physical collector like me, I was like, okay, we're doing this.
That's and a piece of metal.
And if I didn't like it, I would have been like, okay, I'm just gonna return it and not return the steelbook. I just want to keep the steelbook.
Okay, Dale, you putting this on wax? They're gonna find you, man.
I'm gonna say that. Hey, these are hacks, man. These are collector hacks.
There's no rule that says you can't do that, right? So
yeah, I did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. So just like,
he's just gonna put out all the secrets right now. Okay, so good job.
Hey, gaming is expensive, bro.
Hold on, now you got me wondering. Did you not like Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, I love it. Like I didn't get to finish it though. Like I'm probably
because you returned it without the steelbook.
No, so I bought the Xbox version, and then I was like, actually, that was really good after I played it, and then so I was like, because it hit Game Pass or something like that, and then so I was like, shit, I'm gonna buy this one. So I bought it on PlayStation 5, or rebought on PlayStation 5.
But so you haven't played it yet? This global playtest, you haven't tried it out yet?
No, mine's been delayed since until the 22d, so I won't be able to get my copy until that time.
You're gonna say it's been delayed since
but
COVID.
I heard I heard it sold pretty well. I don't know what the figures are specifically.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like it might be one of those tricky, like it's almost Black Friday type of things, So
normally when Sega does that means like when it starts discounting it really fast, that means that it sold enough. Like it sold it, like I don't know what the cutoff number is, but they're like, we sold like 100K of this, and then we're like, we're good, we're gonna discount it, so hopefully more people will keep jumping into.
Look, Dale, look, man. I've never doubted you, man. But you're being a little Dalan-y right now. You're being a little Dalan-y. But
I'll
how
do
about this?
that.
But
I'll
how
do
about
that.
this? I'm giving you ultra. Look, Dalan, I give him like 12% benefit of the doubt. I'm giving you like 89% benefit of the doubt, Dale. But please send me a
Damn,
link.
that
But
hurts
just,
my
just send
soul.
me,
I
just
know,
send me
what the hell, man?
link.
I
Just send
mean,
me-
until Dale betrays our trust,
You're
then
high.
I'm
But
with
it's high up
Carlos
there.
on this
It's
one.
high up there.
But when have I betrayed your trust?
Dude, like,
Oh,
you know
I
what
don't
he-
know. Maybe
like,
there was a
oh,
little
wait,
Destiny story about a Bungie developer, dude. Maybe there was that
that
one.
Matthew had to correct you on. He wrote a whole paragraph. Matthew, please factually
goodness,
correct
oh,
out here.
goodness.
But the other quick thing, and I know it's interesting to me, and this is mainly because Dalan has the speaker. But apparently, the speaker Albatross, as we talked about it a couple weeks on Wags, speaker by the way is the Xbox Series S. If you play Sonic Frontiers on that one, it plays at a lower frame rate. It plays at 30 frames per second, and there's no performance mode option to change it. So, Dalan, you gonna grab an X at some point, right? Or do you still mess with the S? What's going on here, man?
I still mess with the S. Don't worry about my life.
All right, I kind of threw that one in there for you, Dalan. But look, just
Yeah, I
be
know
careful.
you did.
Just be careful, Dalan. Some of these games are running at 30 FPS with no option.
Hey man, I played games since Atari, so I think I could deal with a little bit of a lower frame rate.
Some
You're
of these
fine.
games were running at high frame rates, dude. I don't, they've actually lowered in time. What was it like? SNES games, they all ran at 60, right? I think Dale.
Nah, they ran at like 24 something.
No, man, Dale, can you please talk to this man?
The 3D FX chips ones definitely ran
Yeah.
at like 10 frames, but like pixel ones were like 60 frames solid each
Yeah.
Oh.
time.
It wasn't until recent times, Dalen, that they're like, you know what, this reaction time that you have on your controllers, fuck that. We're running at 30. Now it's gonna take a long time. It's a longer time. It's gonna take a longer time for your character to react out there.
Yeah, it is interesting that when the director says the Sonic Frontiers runs at like super low frame rate, it's really weird that happens, because like the engine that Sonic Team used for Frontiers is the Sonic Unleashed engine from like more than like 10 years
From
ago.
a long time ago, right? Yeah.
It's a long time ago. It's just a modified version of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's
I
so
feel,
low.
and we've talked about it before a little bit on Wax, that I feel like it's maybe optimization. They're not optimizing it for the speaker.
No, Sonic Team is the worst at
Right?
that
Can
stuff.
you back
Oh,
us up on this,
snaps.
Lise, that they're just not optimizing for the S? They're like,
No, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It doesn't matter really, for the most part, what engine you're using. It just matters how you're using it. So yeah, whatever team they had on this, if it's the same team, then they got issues. But yeah, optimization. It could be anything from
That's why
poly
we're
count.
beta testing this one right now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. But yeah, it could be
That's
anything from
That's
poly count to camera, too many things rendering on the screen,
Yeah.
the audio not being optimized, anything. It could be
Yeah,
anything.
And
They
it
should
could be,
get-
and it could be like Dale was saying, this is an old engine or whatever it is. It should be able to run. They're just like, it runs on the X, ship it, and tell them it's a playtest. Tell them it's a playtest.
Hey, they
Well,
need to
go
get
ahead,
they
Dale.
need to get notes from Ghost of Tsushima, how they just put it in order and they were like, all right, let it load quickly for no reason. Like,
So Sushish, I don't know why you brought that up, Dale, but that's a good game. And you
No,
definitely pay attention. You
all
jump
right.
like Sly
No,
Cooper
now
in there.
I'm gonna have to give you the correlation because you over here confused. There was the story where Ghost of Tsushima had extremely short load times simply because of the way that they put their code together.
Okay. But I mean,
And they were
okay,
surprised that
sure.
people were actually giving them praise because of it. And shoot, anybody else can learn that lesson. Put it in a good order so that it loads properly. And maybe
I
your
still
game
feel
will
like
run
it
at
doesn't
60
relate
frames
to
per
the
second.
Sonic thing. But Jet, please comment. Please comment, Jet, and let this man know, please. But okay, then I agree. I mean, I agree with that statement. I'm just saying, I don't know how it's relevant. The next thing we have on here, Dalan, is that PlayStation VR 2 invites are going out starting today, Tuesday. I did get an email. I don't know if you guys put in your email to try to get a pre-order. So the pre-orders, I think, since this podcast goes up at 8-ish, I think the if you got an invite, the pre-order is live for a couple days. I think from today until like Thursday. So they give you like 2 or 3 days to make a decision. My confusion or my thing is like, are you gonna charge me all these cashes right now or when it drops in the future? Because sometimes they'll pull that cash and I'm like, I don't like that at all. So that's kind of my concern. I hope Wario 64 somebody helps me out here. But in other PlayStation VR news, or not PlayStation VR, but the Meta Quest 2 plus Resident Evil 4 VR and Beat Saber is dropping November 18th. They're gonna do kind of a bundled pack for $350 and $420 for the 128 gigabyte and 256 gigabyte edition, respectively. Dale is the one that's kind of hyped about this. Do you have any of the quests, Dale? Good
No,
chance.
I've never tried. Oh well, no, that's not true. I don't own any VR equipment or
Oh, okay.
systems right now, and that's the one I really want to get into because I played it at my in-laws, Beat Saber for the first time, and I didn't realize like how fun that was. Like it looks
Oh, it's
fun
good.
watching
It's
people
good, dude.
play it, and
It's
it's
good.
just like really fun to play. So
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. And I hear RE4 is really good, and there's a
hmm
couple other games that I
Well,
want to just
Sony
jump into.
bought the armature, I believe, made that Resident Evil 4 one. They were like, swoop. They
Hmm.
grabbed them. They're like, all right, Resident Evil 4 was amazing. So there's a little bit of kind of positive thinking, if you will, before they give up on it like they did the Vita. But that they swooped up this Resident Evil 4 because the VR version apparently is really decent. And it only runs on MetaQuest 2. I have the number 1 edition, 1.0 edition. And Beat Saber's nice, man. It is really nice, and especially like wireless. Because the first time
Yeah,
I
that's
played
a
Beat
big
Saber,
deal. Yeah,
yeah,
to me.
the
Yeah.
first time I played Beat Saber was on the PlayStation VR one, and dude, those wires are not right. Those controllers from 2009 PS3,
The move
yeah,
controller.
it's not great, but works flawlessly on the MetaQuest. And it has a 360 mode, so you can't be 360 if you got a wire hanging from your neck. All right, but which one are you grabbing? The 128 or the 256 version?
I normally if it's
128.
yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna do is 128. When it's normally like hardware like that, like it's probably gonna be the lowest tier for something that
Trust
I'm not
and
100% sold on.
Dale, trust me, you don't need that. I think I have the 64 gigabyte version of the MetaQuest, and
Mhm.
dude, I'll delete this. Whatever. You have like 1 or 2 games on there. There's not a lot. There's not a lot going on in there, but you'll have fun with it definitely, especially if you have it.
Yeah, go spend $350 so you can play 1 or 2 games.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. But that's fair. That's a fair point, Dale. That's a fair point.
You used to do it when we were children. I don't know. It's the same thing.
It's fair.
No.
Next thing we have on here. Dave Bautista definitely wants to be in that Gears of War live action film. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a little clip of him where he was like, because Netflix announced we're making this live action Gears of War movie, which go play the games for like 10 minutes, and it's like, damn, this game is good. Like you think they ran out of ideas and all this, but they're nice, man. Those games are nice. But anyways, Dave Bautista put like a quick little video, and he has like the Gears of War gear in a suitcase or whatever it is, and he pulls it out. And I forget exactly what he says, but basically like, I'm ready. What more do you need? I'm making it easy. So there's a clip of Dave Bautista. He's ready for it. Dalan, what do you think, man? Are you kind of hyped? Would you be hyped for Dave Bautista helmed Gears of War?
Hey, sometimes actors just got to put themselves out there because they still need to actually do their own little casting in order to try and actually get companies to pick them up. So I'm glad Dave Bautista is still out there trying to make a name for himself and the things that he wants to do.
Yeah.
And he could definitely be Phoenix. If in my mind he could be Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
But I also said Nathan Fillion could be Nathan from Uncharted,
Nathan
but they
Drake,
just wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that's
Sometimes
they ripped
company
that man
just
off.
like stupid.
That Uncharted guy is Nathan Fillion, right? They were like, this is him. This is him.
They even
Nathan
shot their
Drake
own
is
like
Nathan
indie
Fillion.
movie or something, right? Or mini
Yeah, he
movie
shot like a
on
whole
YouTube.
20-minute thing.
Yeah.
He put it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
So he definitely fits, right? I think Dave Bautista definitely fits, but casting can go in different directions. They might not do it, but they could potentially do it, right? When kind of actors put themselves out there. Luis, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a perfect fit. Not only visually, but like he's a pretty good actor, dude. When you look at the stuff that he's kind of been in, he hasn't been in like many crazy things or whatever. But for Blade Runner, then he was in the C series. I don't know if you guys saw season 2 of C, but he was in that. He did pretty good in that.
Oh, I didn't
So
know he
yeah, I
was
think
in
he could
that.
pull it
Okay,
off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He did a couple of movies. He did that the intelligence agency movie. Of course, it was a
Oh
little
yeah,
girl.
yeah.
He was
Zombie
in
movie.
the zombie movie. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
Army of the Dead. Or
Army
something
of
like that?
Army of the Dead. Yeah, he did that one. He does all kinds of things, and I'm surprised you didn't even say it, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Mhm.
but he's
Oh,
out
why,
there doing
Dalan?
his thing.
Because you're him. You're Drax. Like the
Drax mentality.
Yeah, the Drax mentality. They're too fast, Dalan. They're too fast. I'll catch
Yeah,
'em.
I mean, he's more a
Catch 'em.
comedian in that one to me, but
Yeah. Dale, what do you think, man? They gonna hire this man?
I really hope they do. I love that he was like enlisting like Terry Crews into the mix too. He was trying to get him into it.
Yeah. that'd be
And
nice,
then
yeah.
I did read if you saw Cliffy B, which is the creator of the Gears of War
Whole
series. he gave him his blessing. He's just like, yo, like Dave Bautista like would be perfect fit for this Gears of War adaptation. So I really hope the stars align for him. Like I really do.
Thank you for raising your hand, Dalan. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't even raising my hand. It was just a thought that jumped
Okay.
into my head because you said Terry Crews.
So excited.
So he's like, I need to say this. I need to get it out of my
like
brain.
Terry Crews being in Gears of War, just being the Coal Train, 100%.
The
Right?
Coal Train. Yeah, Terry Crews would be amazing, man.
Could you just
Terry
hear him
Crews-
going, woo,
Oh,
woo, knocking down a wall like the Kool-Aid man or something?
Man, it's not woo woo, it's woo.
Woo!
Gears, man. Hey, Gears, go play that game, dude. Go. If you guys haven't, because it's like, it's very, bro-tastic or whatever you want to call it, but
Love that
it's
shit.
it's good, dude. It's just good. Go enjoy it. Play it co-op. Co-op is extra fun, and I do like how in the later games they actually added a option, because I don't think many games. I don't know if any other game does it, but like you choose a character. For example, I would choose somebody and I'll put it like on the hardest difficulty, and I'm playing with Dalan and he puts it on baby difficulty, of course. But I like
Hey, man,
that
what?
that it gives you that option that each player in the same campaign in co-op can choose like how hard they want the difficulty. So I figure that's kind of hard to
Hey,
It's a
we
kinda
still
good
need to go
feature.
through 4, 5, and 6. I know you did it already, but I still
Oh,
need
let's
to
do
play
it, man.
those games.
Some of these are
Gears
3 or 4
5
players.
is hella good, dude.
Some of these
Gears
are
5
3
is
4 players, 3 or 4 players, so we could kind of squat up if
yeah.
everyone's down.
Delta squatted up.
Yeah. What was
I
that?
don't
We
know,
played
avoid
through.
horde mode.
What did we
Avoid
play through?
horde
Daily?
mode.
I think we played through the whole Halo series recently, and
Oh, yeah.
like a couple of our friends were dipping in and out. Dale, like one of them was like, "Wait, this is the last mission." It's like, "Yep, but we told you, man. We're running this shit." Like I don't.
And
you
one
jump-
of them fell asleep during the final battle.
Oh my god.
This character just hung around through the whole ending.
Hey, Game Pass, man. Game Pass. That's how you get friends to like randomly join you for a random like 2 levels.
The
The next
magic
thing,
of Game Pass.
the magic of Game Pass, indeed. The next thing on here, this one's for you, Dale. But principal photography has started on Gran Turismo the movie, which drops August 11th, 2023. I'm guessing you're super hyped for this, Dale, or kind of cautiously optimistic, or what are we thinking here?
The second, cautiously
second,
optimistic. Because I can't imagine what a Gran Turismo movie would even look like.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what a Need for Speed movie looked like.
I was
but
about
we
to
got
say,
one of those.
We got like 7 of those things through the games. Like it's so stupid. Like oh my god. Like I don't know if Gran Turismo what era of racing are they gonna do? Are they gonna do like street racing? Are they gonna occupy the space that Fast and Furious used to be, where like it's like for hardcore gearheads? Or are they gonna have like a drama series like Ford versus Ferrari with like a history
that
of?
one was
Or
nice. That one was nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that. What does principal photography even mean? I don't know.
Hey man,
You
we
know,
still know it's not about cars,
they
it's
got
about
the they got
family.
to the film.
It's about
They
family.
got to the family, but that's it might not be about family. It might actually be about the cars this time around. But yeah, so that's going. That's kind of the initial steps there to get that going, and it drops August 11th. Luis, what do you think, man?
I am neither hyped nor cautiously optimistic. I'm more on the side of I didn't even know this was a thing, dude. Like I found out about
New
this movie reading
information.
the rundown right now. But yeah, I'm kind of in the camp of on the camp of like what Dale's saying. It's like what does that even look like? Like what are you gonna do? Because it could very easily turn into the cheesy, over the top, really cringy, like Need for Speed kind of stuff.
I was
Or
gonna
if you
say-
go the Ford v Ferrari route, that was actually a really good movie. So I don't know, we'll see. But I don't know if they'll be able to sneak in some family in there or not. We'll see.
Hey, I was gonna say-
if they put Sylvester Stallone anywhere near this movie, we know which way it's going.
Yep, they're going down that
They,
path. But
they
hey,
just introduce a character named Gran Turismo. His last name is
Gran
Turismo.
Turismo.
They'll call him Terry.
Don't call him Terry. He's gonna be Terry. Hey, they hired Kid Cudi though. You know what direction they're going in for sure.
Mhm.
This is the next one. This is a claim. I know Insider Gaming put out that there's a claim that Modern Warfare 2 is gonna get customizable kill cams. And I know Legacy Killer HD, who kind of he kind of breaks some news every so often, but he kind of mentioned, damn, they found something else to monetize. Dalan, does this worry you? Do you think customizable kill cams will be like an issue, or that they might be kind of monetized that way?
No, especially if you don't care about the kill cams. Most people care about the actual kill itself.
Mhm.
So unless you get new animations for the actual kill, The kill cam's not as important.
I feel like you downplay it though a little bit, Dalen, because have you met Prue? Have you met the man Prue that they call Prue?
I understand that there are people out there that don't know how to spend their money, but
okay.
I'm just saying.
So Prue is one of our homies. I think we mentioned. Actually, he was on the 0 episode of Salient Points, but he's one of our homies. And people love customizational shit, dude. They love like what shoes they got on. They love what's on their car. Like I think it could potentially be big. The fact that they could kill Cam is like, oh, I wanted to look like this. I want a what is it, Death Angel or whatever coming out and dabbing like in Rocket League. I want that. I want it to become a ice thing or whatever, you know. So
but would other people see this kill cam, or is it just you?
Well, the kill cam, everyone sees it, right? The kill cam is like at the end of the match or whatever, who got the final kill, who got the whatever. So
you mean that kill cam that doesn't like to show up when you know you did the most awesome thing in the whole game, but the very last thing is just like, okay, we're just gonna put up the scoreboard and nobody gets a kill cam.
I mean, nobody knows, dude. This is alleged information.
It's a claim.
You know,
it's a claim. It's a claim for now. But I feel, I mean, but whether anyone or not cares about it, then it can be monetized, right? Whether or not it's like, here you go, $10, and it's gonna look like this. So, but we don't know. It's a claim for now. I think it could potentially be something that happens. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it. Remedy,
Microsoft already monetized the game, so here we go.
Microsoft is dealing with their own shit. I mean, if what's his name, Jim Ryan, keeps flying out to Brussels, he's gonna shut it down, dude. He's gonna shut it down, all right? If he has
he's collecting those frequent flyer miles.
By the way, we've been talking about that a lot, but I even saw recently, I don't know if you saw it, Dale, but the European Commission was like, they're not gonna take my Call of Duty from my PlayStation or something like that. Okay, unbiased European Commission, your PlayStation. They're not gonna have your Call of Duty on your PlayStation. Okay, that's reasonable.
Oh my god, whatever.
Hey, Jim Ryan, watch out for him. Remedy confirms that Control 2 is in development for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Is being co-developed with 505 Games. I played the first one, and that thing was nice, dude. I actually have to go back, and they did update it, which is the PlayStation Plus version. That's like the best edition you can get. I gotta go back and play that, man. But I'm kind of hyped about Control 2 because that was a nice little game. I think I saw you nodding your head over there, Luis. What do you think about this, man?
Yeah, no, I was nodding my head because they had an update after the game came out. I forgot what it was called. I think it was the Bureau expansion or something like that. But yeah, when they announce a release date for this one or a launch date for this one, now I'll finally have a deadline for when I need to finish
There you go.
the first Control.
Hey, man, I was gonna say that backlog is real.
That's basically me
That's
too,
how you
Luis.
do it.
That's
Yeah.
me, dude. That's like, okay.
Nah, but because I was playing this game and I really liked it. The main problem was I was playing it on the original Xbox One on this thing, and it was chugging, dude. The frame drops, load times were trash, the whole shit. So that's the main reason I stopped playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the
you know,
speaker version of the game.
if we get a date for it or whatever, I know you can get it pretty much anywhere, PlayStation Plus, Game Pass, whatever. So I'll go ahead and get back to that because that's a nice game.
It is, and it runs nice too, man. Like it's like the gameplay is nice, and you have powers. You know, you got powers, and the shooting feels good. All that on that. Dalan, what do you think, man?
Well, at some point the game came out for free, and I think it was the complete edition.
Yeah.
And I picked that up, and then it got upgraded to the PS5 edition for free. So I'm like, yeah, I really need to play this game, and I installed it on the PlayStation, let it sit there for a month, and then I needed the space, and I took it off.
Dalan,
So the backlog is real, but if you didn't know, Carlos, and I want to let you all know this, there is a Control movie out there. Yes.
Okay.
I'm good, dude.
Okay. I'm kind of good on it, but
What?
okay, that's interesting. I gotta look into
There's
that.
a Control live action film, and I was like, wait, is this like the video game? But I went and looked at the game, I looked at the movie trailer, I was like, oh,
But from what I
snaps,
remember,
why?
the game had sort of like, sometimes games do that mix of live and sort of like stylized.
Sometimes
graphics.
Remedy games do that.
Sometimes Remedy. Okay,
Quantum
yes,
Break.
Very
specifically.
specific.
Yeah, because Quantum Break did it. I don't know if their previous games also did it. By the way, I've liked all their games, man. They make good games over there, especially Alan Wake, where you have to put the Energizer battery and like tap it so the
Can't do that anymore.
Can't do it anymore. They took out the Energizers. But I'm kind of hyped about this. I gotta go back and play the first one, and like Luis was saying, there's a deadline going on, and apparently There's like a movie or something. The next thing we have on here. By the way, look into that. I don't take Dalan at his word.
Hey,
What are you
I
gonna
don't
say,
think the
Dalan?
movie and I don't think the movie and the game are actually connected. But somebody played the game and said we're gonna make a movie out of it, and it is Control.
Okay, now the story changes. Now the story changes,
it's literally
Dalan.
called Control, and it is about an agent who gets superpowers, and it's a whole thing. All right.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, Dalan, but sometimes I hate you, man. I hate you. Next thing we have on here is so Halo Infinite finally got updated with the quote-unquote campaign network co-op. That's had weird wording for me, but that's how they worded it. They finally added campaign network co-op, the Forge open beta, and mission replay, which is kind of interesting. And I like how this guy on Twitter, Papa Pichu, said, it's been a solid year of people screaming at 343, and then they dropped the winter update, and everyone is like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm going to go to Deo on this, but campaign network co-op, it just means that you can do online co-op, right? What we've been waiting for, right?
Basically,
So,
yeah, it's a feature that...
Are you that man that's saying, okay, that's pretty good? That's well, Dale?
So I actually reinstalled Halo Infinite just for this winter update, and because they also gave you a free battle pass to grind through, and I am on the positive side. The hopium is high. I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing that they could have done because it's been a year. Like it's like since this game came out, and like this stuff should have been there in the beginning. Like I wouldn't have mind if they delayed the launch of Halo Infinite and had this stuff there. So I'm the thing is, like, I always try to like underhype everything that 343 does, and then because when they deliver, there's always like a caveat or something like negative to go along with it. Like the campaign network co-op is cool, but they were working on like couch co-op, and they totally
and they said no, that's not happening.
It's not going on. So I don't know. Like that's nice. That's a cool consolation prize, I guess, because playing Halo Infinite with like a lot of people is really fun. And I know a lot of people have found ways to like circumvent this couch co-op mode thing. So yeah, that's really cool. The one that I'm really excited about is Forge, because what they've been building in Forge, the community since this patch or this update happened, has been like 10 times better than whatever the actual developers have been releasing for the past 10 months. I swear to God, it's crazy.
Blood Gulch as soon as possible, right?
They built Blood Gulch. They built like 9 old like legacy maps. They did Final Destination from Super Smash Brothers and Zelda's Castle. They've built like all this stuff. It's insane. Like I don't know. It's going to be a whole different ball game once the community gets these powerful tools in their hands and they're able to have a file share, which they finally do have a proper file share to share all these maps and game modes and whatnot. So that's what gets me really excited, because it's just the content drip from 343 has been terrible.
We're gonna hit the co-op on the hardest difficulty, which I understand is really effing hard. But
yeah, they have new achievements, so and some of it's like really, really difficult to do by yourself. So having a co-op person or up to 4 people is going to be really helpful.
Sign me up, Dalan. Are you signed up?
Yes, I'm signed up. I'm ready. I'll go and update it tonight just to make sure it's there.
Hey, I'm hyped, man. The Halo, look, it's my number 2 game of the year, man. And nobody else voted it on there, but whatever. That's cool.
I didn't play through the whole campaign because
campaign's nice,
just not as fun by myself. It's not as fun by myself. I'm
hard.
not an open world person because I'm too busy off doing side stuff. I went and got the Scorpion and just did random stuff for a while. I was like just climbing mountains with my grappling hook. And I'm like, I'm not going forward with the storyline. I'm just gonna go around the map, do whatever. Yeah. But I'm glad that they finally have their own co-op. Or an actual co-op, a true co-op, like we could actually do actual co-op.
How many players? It's up to 4, I'm assuming, right, Dale? It's up to 4.
Up to 4, yeah.
There you go.
But you can only be Master Chief, which is kind of funny, because in the past games you're able to like build your own Spartan and be your own Spartan. But
they broke our heart with the no split. After they explicitly said, from here on on, we will always include couch co-op, and they said, you know what, shit's difficult. We don't know how to optimize that much. But Dalan, before we move on, what's
I'm not a developer.
Before we go, I just didn't want to skate past it. Dale, did you say hopium?
Yeah. Oh,
I did. Yes, I did.
I just wanted to, you said
That was like
hopium.
7 minutes. That was 7 minutes
Yeah.
ago too. There.
I was like, I can't let that go. You said hopium.
I did.
I like
I only so I there's a YouTuber, shout out to Sean W, who's an interesting content creator specifically working on Halo games. And it's been sad because this guy is a really like charismatic, energetic kind of guy, and it's interesting seeing his highs and his lows with the franchise, because like every week he's like, okay, like I'm gonna dig deep into the what's going on with Halo Infinite this week, and he only focuses on Halo Infinite, so he's totally up to like, you know, all the updates and any of the rumors that are happening, and all the hacks that go on. So he uses that term a lot. So sorry if it
the
rubbed off on me.
opium is.
Hey,
Hey, sometimes that's what happens. Hey, the next thing we have on here, Animal Crossing New Horizons is the best-selling video game of all time in Japan, dude. And they had Dragon Quest over there. They literally had to. I forget you. Maybe you can help me out here, Dale. But in Japan, like there was Dragon Quest Day, and like I don't know if they banned the children or they might as well have given them the day off because they were skipping out on school or something to just go pick up Dragon Quest. So the fact that Animal Crossing New Horizons is, I'm assuming, is blowing that out of the water with 10.45 million. Sorry, my numbers are off there. Copies is, I think, kind of incredible, man. They really love that New Horizons. By the way, there's a picture out there of my grandma wearing Tanuki. Who's the guy that asked for the rent? Who's the guy that asked for the rent? My brother gave her a sweater with that guy on there. And I was like, Grandma, you need to ask for the rent. She did not get that reference at all, dude. She was not understanding. But Luis, what do you think, man? What's going on here? Best-selling game.
Yeah, it's just kind of such a missed opportunity for Nintendo there, because it seems like their releases for games, they have a preset sort of like end support date. And this was not only is it Japan's best-selling title, but it also sold a shit ton of copies just in North America alone. And they're not going to have any DLC, any new things coming out for it. Like, they're done supporting this game.
Yeah.
So to me, it just doesn't really make much sense from a business standpoint to be like, let's keep releasing updates to this game, maybe bundle them in and get people to buy that Nintendo Premium, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that to me just makes no sense that they have like these preset ending support for specific titles, like they do for a lot of these games.
For this one they have one, like it's like there's no more support.
Yeah, like it's over, it's done, dude. They're done supporting this game.
This game is done support instead of like, you know, how kind of mobile does it basically, right? And Nintendo's been struggling with mobile for a while, right? They put out a decent games, but they really haven't blown up as much as they want. You would think they'd be like, wait, hold on, let's keep using this game here. Dale, I didn't let you answer, but do you know what I'm talking about at the Dragon Quest thing, or no? Have you heard about it? Rumoring.
I heard about that. I thought you were referring to Monster Hunter, because that's the only other
Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest.
Okay,
Like going back
I thought
to the
it's
90s.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
No, then no.
Okay, so hey, maybe someone could correct us out there, but I remember something like that they enacted a like kids can't go, or they might as well have the day off or something like that, where it's like they're gonna go play Dragon Quest. That's what they're gonna go do. The next thing we have on here that people I'm assuming are gonna be playing, Final Fantasy 16 is a PlayStation 5 exclusive for 6 months, and that was that was basically revealed in a Sony marketing video, that it's going to be an exclusive, which is not too surprising, I don't think. I feel like that's kind of like, I've always considered Final Fantasy a PlayStation series. Well, you know, before it kind of took it over from Super Nintendo, right? But from Nintendo, but it's kind of, it's strange, but not really. 6 months, and then it comes to Xbox. Dalan, what do you think? Will this affect your life?
It won't affect my life. It'll affect Final Fantasy's life, because we saw what happened when Tomb Raider decided it wanted to be exclusive for a limited period of time, because everybody was like, all right, it's just on this system. But then on the other system that it was going to drop to, it was like the whole idea of even getting on that system just died down, and then nobody bought it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to work out for Final Fantasy 16, because Final Fantasy has predominantly sold on PlayStation systems, and very recently Nintendo systems. So going to Microsoft at any point would be a little weird for them. I mean, barely. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped on Xbox, but I don't know very many people that bought Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox.
I kind of I'm picking up what you're putting down, Dalan. I'm picking that up, but I think it's a little different, man. On PlayStation, I think PlayStation, the install base is so huge, and they don't have a Game Pass, right? So we're used to like, yeah, I'm gonna buy Ragnarok for $60-$70. I'm not gonna wait for Game
We've
Pass or
got
anything like that.
Plestra Prime
Yeah,
now.
yeah, but it's not the same thing, right? They don't do day one, so the expectation isn't there. If it was the other way around, it would be weird. Like the Tomb Raider thing was a little weird because it's on Xbox, a smaller install base, and it's kind of it did affect them. I'm sure.
And that was a year. That was a year exclusivity too.
Yeah, and it was
Still,
a year, but
that's my point.
it's not on the other side of things where it's a smaller install base, and it's kind of like Microsoft sort of funded some of it, I believe. But with Final Fantasy 16, I think they're gonna be perfectly fine, man. And then people on Xbox are like, look, I have Game Pass. Do I want to buy this? From what I understand, like the sell through rate on a lot of games on Xbox is super low because of Game Pass, right? Like I think even like the Quarry was an issue for that. Like they sold pretty decent on PlayStation. And on Xbox, it was like, we sold 10,000 copies of that game on Xbox. So I think it's like one of those things where I think they'll be fine. But I don't know. Dale, what do you think, man? What do you think about the exclusive for 6 months?
Oh, I don't believe it's going to be 6 months. I feel like it should be a year.
Okay.
I think that's contradictory. Also, if 16 drops and it's like in like Game of the Year discussion, it might be indefinite that the exclusivity deal happens, because same thing happened with like Final Fantasy VII Remake. They said that the exclusivity deal was for a year, and then it just never it never dropped. So like they still have they haven't released an Xbox version of Final Fantasy VII Remake yet. And it has been on PC for a little bit now, but like yeah, I think
that's all you need. Just stop there.
So your comment is that they're lying, because this was on a marketing video, right? But I don't know. Yeah, I mean that sounds interesting. I think I sort of maybe remember something like that, like Final Fantasy Remake, where like it's gonna come there, but they're like, whatever. It's sold well enough.
If it's speculation, I feel like Sony is holding Square Enix really close to their chest, like right now specifically. And if they are gonna make like some sort of market move where they're gonna be in a position to be like, to position Square Enix as like almost like a second party developer kind of type, like the way that Kojima Games was part of that,
up a little bit more,
without owning them, that might be the case. And in 6 months to a year's time, that this whole picture could totally change. So
yeah, okay,
we'll see what that happens. I don't think it's gonna be 6 months though, to be honest.
It's on their marketing videos, so it's like Sony put it on there, but they could change their mind.
Yeah, unless Phil Spector like drops a bag on him and then just says like, "Yo, here's $1 billion. Bring it over to Xbox."
He's not gonna Twitter them. He's not gonna tweet.
They're gonna be like, he's gonna be like, Jim Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Jim
saying.
Ryan, who? I ain't scared of that man. You see the Acti Blizzard deal that went through. We'll see, right? We'll see if that one goes through. There's a lot of ripples in there. The next thing on here, real quick. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. He was the voice of Batman. He died at the age of 66. That's pretty young. I didn't really look too much into the details. I think he was, kind of ill and passed away. I know he was I don't know how big of a fans. I know Dalan, and I think Dale, you guys get kind of into like who's voicing the characters. I don't know if I really watched I know it's blasphemous, but I don't know if I watched the animated series too much, but he did a good job, I feel. So I know, hey, I'll go to you, Dale, head blown, but look, I'll say this, our rest in peace to the man, besides my blasphemousness not having watched that show too much. But Dale,
you also didn't really watch a lot of cartoons either.
No, I definitely went to that low poly Max Steel stuff or whatever. That's what they saw. Was it called Max Steel or something? It was trash. It was trash, but it was like 3D animated stuff. But
I don't know if you're not talking about Reboot or Max Steel. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Probably both. I don't know. I was more sold on those kind of things. But no, that's not to say the quality of the show. I'm sure it was excellent. And from what I understand, he brought a lot of like warmth to the character. Like it was a decent Batman voice, right? Dale, we'll go to you first, man. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, like rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. Like that guy, like he was the main voice of Batman for me growing up. Like I know I watched the Michael Keaton Batmans and everything before that, but like to me, like I always came home, watched the animated series, which is still fantastic, by the way. You got to watch that.
From what I
show.
understand,
it's really good.
It's good, yeah.
Like animation wise, writing wise, tone, like it's very in the vein of like a good Batman adaptation from the books. So yeah, definitely watch those. And like Kevin Conroy totally embodied that character, even on his days off he still like acted
Where he
with
was
the best
phoning
intentions
it
for
in,
Bruce Wayne.
supposedly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like there's a story out there in the Twitterverse where like this one podcaster who's like a voice actor himself had a bunch of the old animated series voice cast come by, and there's like Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, like all those people come on to the show, and they would do like bits, like they'd be like, oh, what if Poison Ivy was like selling cars? What would she sound like? And like the voice actress or voice actor, they would do it with him. And then so when Kevin Conroy came on to do the same kind of bits, he like read the script that this guy would write out, and he's like, "Oh, that's really funny, but I'm not doing that because I owe it to fans of Batman that like he doesn't do corny stuff like this all the time." And he was like straight about
He
it.
doesn't deal with this. All right, this
No,
is
he
a
doesn't.
respectful role here.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest DC guy, but like Batman is like the one that like in early childhood he was like one of my favorite ones growing up, especially the Kevin Conroy version of it. And I was so happy when he was on board for the Rocksteady games as Batman. Same thing with Mark Hamill, but yeah, it's a sad loss, and he died really young, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen him in more roles going forward for Batman, but he had a very long storied career. I'm so happy that I was able to experience his version of Batman.
There you go, Dalan. What do you think, man? Do you got anything more to kind of add to that?
Well, quite honestly, most of his role was Batman. Just period. He did Batman for years. And Carlos, you may not have watched the animated series, but you should know he reprised his voice in the video games by Rocksteady. So that was still his voice.
I have heard.
Yes, you have heard him. He subtly brings the nuance that is Batman to Bruce Wayne. And when other people ended up doing the voice of Bruce Wayne, or when other people ended up doing the voice of Joker, I'm going to just say that simply because Mark Hamill was also a staple there. The fact is that people would always say, I'm going to try and differentiate myself as much as possible from Kevin Conroy or from Mark Hamill because they are too much of a legend.
They've mastered
it's like we got to make up our own now. That's the reason why Christian Bale decided to do his like I slit my throat and now I'm going to be Batman type thing.
Okay,
so
that, you know what? That's probably why.
Voice.
That's probably why I liked the
Arkham packs of cigarettes a day.
That's probably why I liked Arkham Asylum so much. You know, the voice, I was like enjoying it. Also, secret Metroidvania game, secret Metroid game. So you know how much I love my Metroid game. That game is definitely Metroid.com. Anything else, Dalan? Before we kind of this next one's for you, Dalan. Just so you know.
Just R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. I wish I could have met him.
There you go. The next one we have is this is from a Kotaku article. It said Prince of Persia, which we're assuming the Sands of Time is they've canceled the pre-orders, but Ubisoft swears that it's not dead. They've actually put up an FAQ so you can stop asking about it, Dalan. But you know what? We'll go to Luis on this first. Luis, what do you have to say to this man Dalan about his game that is vaporware?
Why you gotta say it to me specifically?
You've been hyped about this game. You've been hyped.
The one thing you have to don't. As upset as you get about this game, that being canceled, delayed, whatever, the one thing you just have to keep remembering deep down in your soul while you're going through your backlog of games. So you got to believe, Dalan. You got to believe that this game is coming out at some point. Just keep your hopes up.
You went down a whole rabbit hole just to say that.
It was necessary. That's why I went to him first.
Perfect.
That's why I went to him first because
that was a walk. All right,
but
that
look,
was a walk.
But look, Dalan, we are excited for you. So when they announced the February 23rd, 2024 date, it's like, Dalan, hold on, give it a moment. It's gonna slip. It's gonna slip. They're gonna push it 6 months, and then they're but believe. But definitely what Lee said, believe. Dale, any words for our man Dalan before he can speak for himself? Dalan's ready to say something, dude.
Hey,
look at Dalan. He's ready to say something, but not yet.
I'm
Dalan.
so happy for you, Dalan. I am so excited and hyped that this game is not canceled and it's seeing the light of day somewhere out there. I don't know what's going on.
Just keep reloading the FAQ, Dalan.
Just out in the horizon,
F5 it the whole time.
It will come down from being vaporware from the sky, and it'll materialize. Okay, Dalan, what was okay? Okay, so they're still keeping you on the hook here. Are you happy with this? Like, or what do you need from them? What do you need from them?
I was gonna say the whole thing, but I'm just gonna say this: I have hopium for this game.
Oh,
so
okay.
gabagoo.
Come on, Dalan. Come on, Dalan. See, you see what I'm saying? Like that.
Let's go.
What's the relevancy there? Anything else,
I
Dalan?
was just coming back at Dalan Luis for that one. That's that one.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Prince of Persia is still alive somewhere. Still alive somewhere. I can imagine then. What was the movie? Was it the last Indiana Jones movie or something like that, where they're pushing a cart into like where there's millions and millions of crates, right, in a warehouse?
Like an archive or something.
Something like that.
That happened in many movies, but Indiana Jones was very well known for that.
I figure they wrapped this game up, put it in there. It's like, all right, where are we gonna archive this at some point?
I'm pretty sure they did that in Uncharted as well.
Did they potentially? But anyways, that's what's happening, Dalan, to that game. They put all the code in there. They printed it out because they printed out, and they put it in a box, and then they just stuck it somewhere. Right?
Nah, man, they're still working on it. They put it in a box and shipped it to some guy in Alaska, and he's working on it very slowly.
All right, hey, watch out for the thing. We're gonna move on to what you've been playing here, Luis. What you been playing, man? Don't say GTA 5.
So I know that
GTA.
I never say GTA 5 because it's a given that I'm playing GTA 5 pretty much every single week. But this month just so happens to be Heists month in GTA 5. They're celebrating every single heist that ever came out in this game, and they're all paying bonuses. Hold on, I got distracted by the rundown out here, and then yeah, so they're kind of rolling them out little by little, and if you complete all of the heists during heist month, then you get an extra paid bonus. But yeah, so and it kind of came in a perfect time because I just created a new character. I just kind of wanted to see, given all of the options that I have to make money, how I would kind of approach it and see how quickly I could kind of get back to where my other character was. So I've been running those down with Dalan out here doing all those heists and stuff.
Dude, I hate to say it. Well, let's go to Dalan. Dalan, what was your statement? You put it in the rundown, and then I'll kind of follow up on that because I have some thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, my statement was the fact is I didn't really play a lot of GTA, and I was like, I don't understand why people are so excited to play this game so much. But I get it now. I get it now.
After 21 years, after 21 years, Dalan, you get it now. Yeah,
I get it now. But it's just too much fun. I mean, I'm over here trying to open businesses. I'm just trying to get money so I can get more stuff. I want that oppressor. I want to be able to fly around and just blow stuff up and easily just fly through a game. Yeah. But it does take some work. And it's a lot harder when you don't have people to play with you. So, Luis, I know you were out there in the desert by yourself drinking that sand water, but now you got a little bit of a refreshing taste, so you got a friend to play with now.
Look, I'm like 33% of the way there with you guys. I actually did install it. It's installed. It's going to stay installed. I don't know if I've gotten what GTA is, Dalan, so I'm not like that ignorant to it, but the GTA Online aspect of it, and I did get that. What's the oppressor? I got that. Dalan found out apparently I had millions and millions of dollars. Luis seems like, wait,
this
how much
fool
do you have?
Did he had $5 million just sitting there?
Stop logging into GTA 5. Stop logging into it. That's what you get when you stop logging into it. I bought the submarine, straight up red, and we swam up to it, and Dalan was like, this is definitely not my submarine. I was like, well, yeah, because it's red as hell in the middle of the ocean with the Mexican flag on the side. We're ready to go, man.
But Carlos, this is what I was talking about in our off the books chat. Is you got to freaking figure out what you're doing with your money, because you will very quickly run out of money.
I already did, dude. I bought a submarine.
Yeah, if he bought an oppressor and a sub, he's at $0.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm very close to it. Hey, I like how you can update things on there, and everything is like, oh yeah, 25K. It's like, oh, 2.5 million for this upgrade right now. Okay, reasonable. So there's a lot of look. You know what it took, Luis? I played with Dalan, and I think what happens is it's a little too wacky because it's too many of us. But for when we were doing it. Because I was trying to learn, and you guys were already doing the cool shit, and I was like, I don't even know how to move. How do I stealth? How to stealth? I figured out kind of how the stealth works. I figured out how to blow up the map, because it's really about reading the map, and especially in what is it, Cayo Perico? You really have to read the map. Where's the Berserker Barrage? You got to kind of be careful with the the different enemies. So I'm not 100% there, but stop logging into GTA 5. Stop logging into GTA 5. But it'll be installed on my PlayStation heist month at least.
Oh, are we playing tonight though?
I don't know about tonight. We're talking about Halo Infinite, Dalan.
Hey, that's not until December 8th. I'm talking about
5
now.
was not my 2021 game of the year. Halo Infinite was.
Oh, I'm sorry, you brought this up, and I meant to say this earlier, but I'm still upset that Tales of Arise got snubbed. I know that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is up there, but Tales of Arise, it was right on the cusp. But they're not
Dalan,
going to put it on the
phrasing,
list
and if you
'cause it
guys
came
saw
out
the
last
video, don't look at the video. Both the words and the come on, Dalan, you gonna repeat it now? There's a lot of phrasing happening, all right? But okay, okay, Dalan. But I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. It's just
You don't have to be sorry
it's too
about that.
elevated.
I'm mad at the award show because they won't do it.
They only can nominate one RPG every other year, Dalan. All right, that's all they can do.
Every other year.
Every other year. All right, Luis. The big
Wasn't
thing-
there like an RPG category in there or something?
Yeah, there
Yes,
probably is.
Mhm.
But
Rise
Tales
is
of
in
Arise
there. I'm
came out
assuming.
later in the year, so it didn't make the list in time.
No, it should be in there, Dalan. Or last year, was it in last year's? When did it come out?
No, it wasn't in last year. They had it up on the board to potentially be in there, but then they were like, you know what? Let's take it off the list. So Tales of Arise did not make it on there at
I
all.
would think this year or last year should be on there, depending on when it came out.
It
I
was
would think.
not.
Okay, interesting. Well, look, have fun with that game that no one played, Dalan. Oh, what about Ogre? Ogre Battle? Was it that? Is that on
Ogre
there somewhere?
Tactics, and I don't like what you're saying, Carlos. I don't like what you're putting down.
I don't care, man. But that game's in there. You understand? Don't be phrasing that, Dalan.
On the
Come on.
We don't know how to
cusp.
censor videos,
Come
Dalan. We
on.
don't know how to
I
censor
don't know
videos.
that, and it takes a lot of work, dude. I barely clip these. I barely clip the ends of these videos together, dude. So that's a lot of way more work to blur it out. Luis, the big thing though, we haven't been playing. He's gonna keep it spoilery free because I want to hear what he has to
Yep.
say as well. But whoa,
No spoilers, no spoilers.
Ragnarok.
But the one thing was when we were playing GTA, Dalan and I, and we were trying to get Jonathan at least because he's usually on GTA, and he just replied after all those messages like God of War or something like that. Like I'm playing God of War, dude. Like, and then a few days later, same thing happened to me. I was playing God of War, like just got it, and I completely ignored those texts and those calls, dude, because I was in it.
Yeah.
I was in God of War, and I know I replied into it. I was like, I'm in a boss fight. I was not in a boss fight, but the game is so hard. I have it on such a high difficulty. The difficulty is on the Give Me God of War, which is the highest one, that anytime you meet a new enemy, it's basically a boss fight. Like, you kind of have to figure out, okay, what do they do? When do I dodge? When do I block? When do I do this?
That's what happened to me when I played God of War
Is
2018. I put
Ninja-
out a hard mode immediately. I could not get past like
now,
the first
now,
three
Luis,
enemies or something.
because
Like
Dalan's
that.
over here stepping on your lines, but that's fine. But is
No, I'm
it
stepping on your lines, Carlos.
what did you do? But Ninja,
Thank you, Carlos.
but
What are you
Ninja,
trying
hey,
to say, Carlos?
so Ninja Gaiden kind of did this, but this is kind of at a higher level, right? But Ninja Gaiden kind of did everything you came across could potentially murder you, right? But that was just the
Yeah,
regular
so
mode of
that's
that game.
what this game is. Yeah. Oh, regular mode, yeah, maybe. But on the Give Me God of War, basically, anytime you meet enemies, you should be expecting the possible, like your chance of death is pretty high for any crowd of enemies. So, but yeah, but specifically when it's a new enemy and in that boss fight, it might have taken me 30 minutes to an hour to beat that one guy.
Okay.
Okay. And it was just 3 guys. It was one new guy and then 2 guys that I had already encountered before. But that one guy, I'm like, I don't know how to beat this man. So, yeah. And it wasn't even like a necessary part of the game. It was like a side quest or
So
something.
to keep it as spoiler free as possible, though, the original game's mechanics compared to this one, you could tell a difference. It's much better, much more intricate, or faster, or
It does seem like it's improved overall, better in the sense that there's more possibilities for things. I don't know if that's necessarily exciting for you, Carlos, because you don't have to do these things.
yes, please.
But they
please,
make it
please.
so that you can kind of make weapons cater to like your fighting style, kind of. So like I'm using a specific shield that isn't great at like when you hold block, it doesn't really counter those blocks, but if you parry at the right time, that's like the key to that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of doing things like that, like adding different abilities, updating different abilities once you kind of similar to what I said about a Plague Tale, where if you use a certain mechanism enough, you kind of level it up and then you unlock an option to like upgrade it to do something extra on top of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I think overall it's way better. Not that it was bad before, but it's just they've
I'm
improved
playing
over
through the
it.
2018 edition one, and that's nice, man. It was so nice that you're like, just watch the recap. Like, I can't. It's too good. is too good. So the fact that
Yeah, don't watch
I
the
just
review.
gotta play
so
the
the
game.
fact that the original, the 2018 version, anyways, is so good, and the second one is basically a Yakuza game. I'm pretty hyped about when I get around to Ragnarok. I will say this though. So we were trying to invite you to Rocket League or whatever, but I've said it on Wax before, but I do like how there's just different gamers, right? They play different games. So one of our homies, Prue, we mentioned him earlier. He doesn't understand a narrative like focus game that you would sit down just by yourself and enjoy a game so much that he's like, because we're like, hey man, he's playing God of War, don't leave him alone. And he's like, yeah, but why can't he be on the chat? It's like, come on, man. Like he's playing a narrative like focus game,
It's like, I got
so-
my headphones
so-
on. I'm trying to hear the music. I'm trying to
it's
hear
not
the
to say that he's
dialogue.
wrong. He just there's different gamers. There's gamers that are just on Fortnite, just on Call of Duty, just GTA Online and that kind of thing, right? But we have to tell him, no, man, you don't understand. He can't be on the chat. He can't.
Hey,
be on
have the
chat.
creators of Sonic yell at him, like, you just don't understand the game.
It's an open play test. You don't understand that's what's happening. Dale, what? Anything else? At least that was very spoiler free. I like that. But
I'm digging it. The 6 hours in though, because I have it on the hardest difficulty, and I'm not even like at the
You're
first
like
sort of.
10 minutes in. 10 minutes.
I'm not even at like the one of the main that I could tell is like a turning point of the story. So
Okay, nice.
You haven't even hit the actual first boss yet.
no, I did.
Oh, okay.
Dale, what you been playing, man? What you been playing out here?
Yeah, I've been playing 3 games. One I finished really fast last night in like 2 or 3 hours. And it was on Game Pass. It was called Superliminal, and it's one of those like perspective puzzle, first person puzzle type of games. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. It has a very unique message at the end of it, and I was just really surprised how short it was. If you've ever played like The Witness,
I was gonna say like The
or-
Witness or something like that, right?
yeah, or like Turing Test or any one of those kinds of games, like this is pretty much in the same kind of vein. The graphics are super simple, so don't be like, you're not gonna be blown away by anything like that. But the mechanic there's one mechanic in the game which is really interesting about perspective and how to resize objects and yourself. It's really cool. It's like Portal on acid.
Don't
is
say
what-
Portal. Don't say Portal, man, because I'm about to
That's-
shut off this podcast right now.
and
And go down.
Portal's influence is undeniable.
So nice, dude. So nice. The co-op in Portal 2, frustrating AF, but satisfying. when you got a
Hilarious.
puzzle. Hilarious
At sometimes.
and super satisfying when you got the knucklehead that's helping you out, quote unquote, helping you out to solve these puzzles. Figure it out.
Mhm.
Superliminal is on what? On is it Game Pass?
It's Game Pass. He
It's
said
Game
it's on
Pass.
Game
Oh, my
Pass.
bad. Okay,
But
there you go.
as you describe this game, it actually makes me think of the game. Have you ever played the game Monochrome? You're
Yes.
like,
Yeah. Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was an excellent game where you're just the art
You-
figure and
you
you're walking
twist the
around.
yeah.
Yeah, the perspective.
mean
thing,
Echochrome?
humans- Oh, Echochrome. I'm sorry,
Echochrome, yes.
Monochrome.
Okay, hey,
Sorry.
good little fact check,
Hey,
good little
you
fact
knew what I
check.
was talking about.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite games. I played the hell out of
Yeah,
that game.
that was a really fun game. Like there's like that one, Echochrome, and there's another one called I don't know if it's called Fee or the FE. It was made by EA.
Fest?
Fe-
No,
There's-
no,
well,
no.
there's
There's
Fez,
FE and
that's
there's
a different
Fez.
one.
There's FE and there's Fez. Yeah.
There's a couple of those, and then
Oh,
so like
the one
those,
with the accent above the E.
yes, yeah,
Okay, I know which one you're talking about.
So those types of games, like those are like like in that vein, they're really interesting because they're perspective based, and this game is you can't really do that because you're in first person the entire time. But there are puzzles like that in the game you have to solve in order to progress on further. So like there might be a stretched out image and it doesn't look like anything in the particular spot that you're standing in, so you have to find a spot inside of this huge room in order to get it lined up to turn it into like a cube or like a chess piece or a cheese. I don't know why there's cheese in there,
Whatever.
but there's cheese in there.
A shape.
Hey man,
a
you just
shape,
like
right?
your puzzles.
Yeah.
You like your puzzle games. All right, I get it there.
Yeah.
And
So
you said it's short. It's a very quick kind of
yeah, I thought
3
normally
hours.
it's 2 or 3 hours. Like I normally think these games are around 6,
yeah.
but I understand why it's that short is because that puzzle mechanic at the end of the day is pretty one note, and it's you can't really do anything else. Like they don't really go too much in depth with
Yeah. But it's on
anyone
but
giving
it's
puzzle
on,
at a time, but it's easy.
But it's on Game Pass.
it's
It's on
easy.
Game
Yeah.
Pass. That's a beautiful thing on Game Pass, right? Just load it up and it's quick, and you have a
Yeah.
fun little puzzler.
It's not
What-
exactly Portal, but it's fun enough.
Right.
Don't
Right.
blaspheme Portal, please.
I think honestly for the game in Superliminal, I think you only have like one input. Like besides your directional
Mm.
thing, you just have a grab, and that's it. Like, that's
Kinda
all you
wanna
do.
mess
Grab
with
and release. That's all you
I
have
wanna
to do.
mess with
It's
this
really
game.
simple. It's
What
super
else
easy.
what else you been playing, Dale?
Besides that, I've been playing more Persona 5 Royal, which is an amazing game. Man, like I hope I get to finish it this time around.
I hope
And I'm
it's
only
up to you,
like
Dale. It really is up to you to
it's
make
really good.
to
Like
do that.
I think I mentioned this last time on the pod, is that I've been playing it all on cloud, on xCloud right now,
Yeah.
and it's been running beautifully. I've hooked up my PlayStation DualShock 4 controller up to like a tablet, and it works flawlessly. It's fine. The only issue I have is sometimes like the saves don't sync up in time, so it takes a little bit of like waiting in
That's
order to
always
get that
been a
done.
weird like Xbox thing, right? Like something like the
Yeah.
it doesn't
When,
sync up when you need it to or when you want it to.
right,
type of
right.
thing.
When it works, it's magical, but when it doesn't work, you're just like so frustrated. So sometimes it happens to me a lot, especially with this game and a Plague Tale. So it is what it is. I can't. I don't have any other, what do you call it, input of myself to be like, hey, you should fix this. Like, they probably know it's an issue. I don't know what else to
Sometimes
tell
they
them.
don't. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
Sometimes they don't.
but yeah, the last game I've been playing regularly in the rotation right now is a Plague Tale 2, or Plague Tale Requiem.
What did you
And
put?
Which
What did you put in the?
dubbed.
What did you put in the rundown?
in the rundown,
Dale? What'd
in
you
the
put in
rundown, I put Ratatouille with the number 2
A
inside of
Plague
it.
Tale 2, numerical 2, numerical 2, ooey, Ratatouille. So there's two
Ooey.
T's. A Plague Tale 2, Ratatouille.
Ooey.
But it's about a plague, man. It's a serious topic here. You're still digging it, I'm assuming. You're still kind of.
Yeah, I got to chapter 11 now, and man, that is a gorgeous game. Like, I finally I unpacked my my HE OLED TV downstairs, and it has 120 hertz mode. So I turned it on for that game, and good lord, that is a gorgeous game on that. And I don't know. Like, I look at Horizon Forbidden West, and that looks gorgeous too. But there's just something like more grounded in the way that a Plague Tale does its art. So it's
Well, and the
Foliage
scope,
is
and
what it
maybe
is.
the
it's
scope
amazing,
is
man.
maybe the scope is a little different too, right? In a Plague Tale, where Horizon you're supposed to see out into the
Definitely.
distance, and
That is-
Plague Tale
yeah.
is kind of like
Plague Tale, like, yeah,
it's
the
reduced,
set
right?
pieces are there, and like, yeah, it's definitely a controlled perspective, especially in different levels and different areas. So yeah, that is definitely an advantage to them on how they're, like, the direction that they're going for is definitely in their favor. But yeah, it's just like all the suffering that goes on in that game, and like I don't want to spoil too much about it because I don't know if you guys are
Yeah,
all
please
interested in
don't.
playing
Yeah,
it. I know
'cause,
Luis is playing that.
I'm to it, yeah.
It's just like everything is so much better and upgraded compared to like the first game.
Okay, I don't want to
and,
see any
like-
rat tornadoes though. I don't want to see that. I don't
Oh,
want to see that
man,
nonsense.
you'll get your fill.
Damn it!
Power.
You got the first one's gonna
Rat
be bad.
power.
Freaking rat power, man.
Damn
I
But
it.
mean,
yeah,
it's called
so-
Ratatouille, Carlos.
Yeah, it's more.
in the
It's more
title.
Tuies.
In the
It's more
title.
Tuies, yeah.
Ratatouille.
Oh, Dale. Okay,
And they're
Dale.
French, so it works. They're
Yeah.
French.
Ratatouille.
Anything else on that, Dale? Or
Play it. I completely understand why it's nominated for Game of the Year. So I would definitely, like, I haven't finished it yet, and I'm like torn. Like, I don't want to finish it because I know it's going to be like an emotional roller coaster, and I don't want to do that and do Ragnarok back to back because I heard they're pretty emotional type of titles.
yeah.
Once you get attached to them. So I might need a palate cleanser in between. But I could definitely understand why it's one of the best games of this year.
There you go. Yeah, as far as what I've been playing, I did finish New Tales from the Borderlands. I was lying to Gamefly a little while. I don't know if I said that on the podcast yesterday, but I was like, I
Let's
sent
put
this
it on
back.
wax.
They have a little self-return thing. By the
Plug.
way, we're waiting on that sponsorship from Gamefly. They give you a little
You're
self-return.
waiting on a sponsorship from Gamefly, and you're about to tout how you just cheesed them right
Why are
now.
you getting so angry at me, Dale? But so I did the little self-return. I didn't self-return it. I was like, I will finally get around to playing it, and I did. And they actually hit me up. I think they hit me up on Friday. It's like, this game hasn't been returned yet. It's like, hey, shut up. I'm gonna send it back. I didn't say all that. I was like, hey, I forgot. Blah blah blah. I was like, I'm sending it now. But I liked the game, man. I actually did like it. I think I mentioned it last week. that it misses. It has that certain je ne sais quoi. Since we're keeping it French around here, apparently, that Telltale kind of brought to the table. But I feel like it's still pretty good. It's still very Borderlandsy when you get the chuckles from Borderlands. I know Lee hates the art style, hates Borderlands, whatever. But the jokes I feel pretty good, besides the art style and all that. It plays well enough. I agree. I've seen a lot of people online saying it's not very, interactive, and I think it's true. I think there's very few. You're really watching, long cutscenes, basically, for the most part. But there's some good chuckles in there. Some characters return from the original, which is kind of cool. So I assume they're going to continue this going as if it makes some money, right? But the violence is a little trippy. I kind of put in as a note that the people are just getting shot randomly. I was like, oh shit, okay, that just happened. So you do get, they're video games. You expect violence, but the fact that they surprise you is kind of, is kind of an interesting little thing. But I did beat it. I had fun with it. I would say probably it's like a 7.5. I would say it's about a 7.5. It's not too incredible, but it's fun enough. If you guys like the original, definitely kind of mess with that. Maybe I'll put this up as a review. I'll take out the quotes.
We were talking about it.
But I would say it's probably like around 7.5. Besides that, I'm trying to get to Bayonetta 3, so I played Bayonetta 2. I finally got it. That thing, I can't get it for cheap, Dale. I tried to get it on eBay, and of course I kept getting outbid. And I was like,
for what system?
It's on Switch. I think it's only on Switch. Or, well, no, I think it was on Wii U.
Bayonetta 2?
Bayonetta 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 was on Wii U, and then they brought it to the Switch. And I think even the guy, Kamiya, recently said he was like, I thank Nintendo for even helping me make this happen. And it sells like dog crap, apparently. So, yes, thank you, Nintendo, for helping me with it. They definitely keep the style. They keep the phrasing cameras on it on Bayonetta 2. I thought maybe they would change, but no. It's still that. You're still getting a lot of that. But what's interesting about the Switch one, and I noticed this because, I take it to work, only on my breaks. If my boss is listening, only on my breaks and only at lunch, I take out my Switch. And it's loud. If you play that game, it's kind of loud. You're clicking away at those buttons hard. And I was like, okay, what do I do? Because it's kind of hard. I don't want to bother my coworkers. It has touch controls. I'm using touch controls for this game at work. At work, I'm using touch controls, and they sort of work. But I feel like they make the game a little easier, man. Because I feel like you're doing like amazing combos. Like I've never even seen this. I've never done this combo when I'm using buttons. So I think that's an interesting way that they kind of put in touch controls for that, which works well enough. And you can even dodge with it as well. The game is about, kind of dodging. It's kind of the big thing. So the touch controls work well enough. But I'm having fun with it, man. It's still a good game when I can actually get on the buttons. But even the touch controls at work, I guess I'm like, all right, I don't want to bother anyone, so I'm using touch controls. But I'm gonna keep playing that. I'm kind of gonna get around to 3. Did you play Bayonetta 2, Dale? By the way, or have you played any? You played on what, the Wii U or the Switch?
On the Wii U.
Okay.
That's what I remember playing it on. That's why it's super rare. That's why it's probably really hard to find, like, as a physical copy.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people bought it, so they just didn't even bother reprinting any more
That's
copies
probably what
of the
happened.
damn thing.
And GameFly does this, like, that they don't give you the option to buy it from them. Like any game, you already know that it's kind of rare when they don't give you the option to buy it. Like that doesn't have like I was like, yeah, I would buy it for cheaper.
I wonder if you lose it, how much would it be?
That's hey, I'm already testing their patience with I lied to them for about a week. So
that's another hack, guys.
Another collector's hack. Look at Deo in his mind. He's already like, how do I hack this? Maybe I do want to.
How do I keep this game for not $100?
They definitely will charge you. They definitely will charge you, but of course, how much? Right, is the key. Because I think one time one game was lost. I think someone broke into my car. And they stole my iPad and they stole my. I think my Vita actually. My Vita.
That's what they stole was your Vita and all your games.
So yeah, they stole the and one of the cartridges that I had in the Vita was a GameFly cartridge, and I was like, "Hey man, my car got stolen," blah blah, and they were like, "Do not give a fuck. You will pay. You will still pay."
We'll send you an invoice.
Yeah, then they did. They charged me for that game. I was like, all right, whatever, man. I think it was like $22, 23, so it wasn't too much, but it still sucks, right? It's like, all right, they didn't read my please. But now, hey, the table says turn. That self-return, I may or may not be lying to you. Dalan, what have you been playing? What have you been playing? Save me.
Well, aside from GTA, which we recently spoke about,
It's
I
only like a few
actually
minutes
tried.
ago, Dylan.
Yeah, recently. That's recently.
Mm.
Is that not? You know what? But
Uh-huh. What'd you been playing?
because I've also been using GameFly, I know I previously talked about Steel Rising, and I do intend on really going through that game. But God of War came out and Sonic came out, so I returned that game real fast, and I want my games. I took every other game
I
off
want
my
my
list,
games.
just those two games. I want my 2 games. But before I returned to these games, I tried out the Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed that I just released. And I have to say, that game is actually kind of good because they brought back all the original actors to do the voices, and they had most of the input in the actual story itself. So it literally comes right off the back of Afterlife. They pick up immediately after the movie.
Interesting. They did that. They did that with the Wii one. Remember, they did a Wii one. And they were like, "This is a direct sequel to."
No. They did that with the Ghostbusters, the video game that was on PS3.
Okay, well, I think it was on Wii too, though. But you know that game, they said it picks up like it's a sequel.
Yeah,
considered a sequel.
Yeah, that was
so
Ghostbusters 2.5, and that's basically what they did with this. It's Ghostbusters 3.5.
Okay.
But the problem with this game is that they don't really have a campaign. They have a little bit of story that takes you through the few levels that they currently have in the game, but there's not really a campaign. There's a lot of story that introduces the characters and what you're supposed to be doing in these missions, but it's basically you're going in 4 people versus a ghost. That's
well,
what
it's
it is.
asymmetrical, right? It's by the Dead by Daylight guys, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's like they was like it's putting it together. It's like, fuck, they did this to me. They really did this to me. That's what that game is.
So I was hoping that it would be more of a story. There would be a campaign and there would be the multiplayer, but no. This game is straight up a multiplayer game. If you don't have online, you're not going to have fun with this. And honestly, without having other friends to play with, don't get me wrong, the matchmaking was not a problem. But it's not as fun when you're playing with people you don't know. Yeah. Especially when you're not talking to them. You can't really banter with them the same way, and you can't yell about how you're trying to get these ghosts off the map.
Dylan, convince our buddy Walter, he's another buddy offline, convince Walter to grab a copy and maybe I'll GameFly and we can play it together. He loves his Dead by Daylight, Dylan, so.
Hey, I will say that when it comes to playing this game, if other people pick it up, I will pick it up. This game was honestly fun, and I know it would be exciting with other friends.
But not without friends. If you have no friends...
If you have no friends, it's not as fun. I mean, you could go and pretend to be a Ghostbuster for a minute, but you're going to get bored with it if you don't have other friends. I will say this. In my testing of the game, there's a point where
Dylan, in your official
I was trying it out because, it didn't have other people to play with at the time. But there's a point where you could be the ghost, and it is random that you are the ghost. And I did one match as a ghost person. I was like, all right, this is cool. Then the next match, I was the ghost. And I was like, oh my God, why am I the ghost?
OMG.
You have a certain number of lives based on the rifts that are on the map. And you're supposed to protect your rifts. I did not know the controls of this ghost at all.
Is that how, when you don't know the controls, you go like this? I don't know the controls.
I don't know the controls. I need the tilt controls. I need that touch screen. But I didn't know the controls at all. And I went and I was trying to protect my ribs. So like, nope, they killed me like 3 times. And I had 1 life left. They killed me 3 times in about a minute and a half. But that last time when I had no rifts left, I was like, I'm going to make this as hard as I can for these people. And I was all over that map. I survived for an extra 20 minutes on that one line.
Damn.
And I was just wreaking havoc. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to throw everything at everything. And that was like the best experience that I had. Being one player, if I could just choose to be the ghost all the time, I would play that game all day.
Because Dead by Daylight works the same way, right? You can't be Freddy Krueger every time, or you can't be the, whatever. So it's kind of random on that too, or you can choose in that one.
No, it is random on that one too. It's just as random.
Well, I'm glad you had fun Ghostbustering. Oh no, go ahead.
Hey, I had fun being a ghost. It wasn't as fun Ghostbustering because trying to get that trap out there and hitting the ghosts with it, that was actually a little funky.
Well, especially if you don't know the controls, like that's
I had to learn the controls.
They need to give you some touch controls. Hey, that's been a show. Carlos Macias, the master of whatever Dalen said. He said, master of
Dirigible. Good. Oh my God.
dirigibles. Thank you very much. I'm Carlos Macias. Dale, you are
Read a
a
book.
frustrated man. You are a frustrated man.
All
Dalen
right,
Kirkwood.
Carlos, master of blimps.
Yeah, blimps. I'll take that. Dalen, thank you. Dalen Kirkwood from up in the mountains. Thank you for joining us, sir. Brought to us by Teddy Grass. I hope you're not allergic. Deo Blas,
Why would I
the
be
king of...
allergic to Teddy?
Get out the meter, dude. Dale Blas, the king of Mid Bay. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, as always. Thank you.
And Luis Mendes on the wheels of steel. Maybe we could get on the audio this time. If you guys noticed, I extracted it from the video last time. Like, it was a straight extract. But maybe, it didn't get lost. Maybe the dog didn't eat it this time, right, Dale? Dog didn't eat the audio file?
It definitely, yeah, something. Digital dog.
All right.
The reboot dog did it.
We'll see you guys later. Stay away from the blimps. You might be allergic. Latest.